everybody? What up, everybody in YouTube world? Here's another video by Efi's Voice. Here I go. The title of this video is going to be something like "Racism is alive. Address it, but don't only focus on it." Racism is alive. Address it, but don't only focus on it. People got to realize that racism is alive and probably will always be alive. Address the issues with it, but don't only focus on it. I think a lot of people got that. What I just said. A lot of people feel the way I feel too. I think a lot of just to let people know. I think a lot of people feel the way I feel too for a long time. For a long time, I'm talking about the older generation before me and all stuff like that. But I just feel the need to make this video. Racism is alive. Address it, but don't focus on it. People gotta realize that we know there's racism. People gotta realize we know people are racist. We know there's isms. We know people feel certain ways about people and in life. We know that it exists. We know there's racism. Address it, but don't only focus on it. When you only focus on racism, you give people when you only focus on racism too much, you give people too much power. You're saying they are in control of you, that they are in control of everything in life and the whole situation going on in life, which is not true. People have their feelings, people have their perspectives, people have their ideologies, and people are racist and people feel the way they feel, but don't only focus on it. There's other issues, there's other circumstances, there's other perspectives, there's other energies, there's other ideas, there's other viewpoints, there's other people in this world and other ways to see things. There's racism, yes, address the issues. I'm making that clear with you right now. Address it. Racism is alive, address it. Notice I say address it. You need to address it because if you let things slide and you can fall victim to certain things, you need to address it. Make sure things don't get too out of control. Yes, address racism. Make sure it doesn't get to a point where it affects you in a negative way. Address it. Make sure you combat that. I'm saying that clearly. Address it, but don't only focus on it because whether you realize it or not, everybody in this world is just people. It's just a world full of people, human beings, and people can be scumbags. People can have the strangest, dumbest perspectives in the world. People are just people. When you think that racism is too powerful, when you only focus on racism, you're saying that these people are too big for you, are too in control to you, are too smart to you, are too like they're too smarter, too better, too in control, too above you, too not human, too just another type of thing that just controls everybody. No one's like that. We're all just people, and then people can be scumbags, and certain people are racist, and that's just the way they feel. But you don't. Uh, Racism is alive. Address it. Notice I say address it. You can't just let things slide, things be the way they are. You can't let things just stay in a negative way. Address racism. Make sure you combat it and stuff like that. And I'm being clear with that. Address racism and combat it. It's a life struggle sometimes with people, and lifelong struggle in life sometimes too. That is a lifelong struggle in life too. But don't only focus on it because there's other aspects in the way you need to see things. There's other aspects in the way you need to think about people. If you focus on if you only focus on racism, you're kind of limiting yourself in the way you could see the big picture. Yes, racism is alive, but there's other things and issues and ideas in your mind that you need to see too, and people too that you need to see too. Yes, racism is a certain part of life, and people feel that way, and then some people probably will always feel that way. But you need to just realize that people are just people, human beings, and people have faults, and people make mistakes, and people have wrongs in them, and people are scumbags to a certain extent sometimes. But you need to just realize that they are just people and just human beings, and don't give them too much authority over you or too much power over you to make them think that their ideas, no matter how construed, can influence your life too much when they can't, you know. So they're just people, you know. Your mind can overcome a lot. Use your mind to overcome. You have a brain, you have a soul, you know, there's God in life. There's ways you can there's things you can overcome. There's powers in life that just set forth the natural order, the natural way, not natural order, but the way we should see things. You know, there's freedom, there's justice, there's equality. You know, these things always exist in life. You know, no matter how construed people are, how racist people are, you can't defeat the truth. So once you realize that, you'll see the proper perspective. So these are just people. Racism is alive. Um, Address it, but don't only focus on it. If you only focus on it, you're saying that it has too much control over you. You need to address it and confront it. Yes, I'm saying that. And you may confront it and address it really harsh and really strong way for a long time. But you need to just not only focus on it, because if you do that, you're limiting your intelligence. You're saying that's all they could see in you, and that's not the truth in the matter. Someone's viewpoint, technology is deep. You know, people try to trick you into believing certain things and making you feel that that they try to make you feel that the way they think about things is the truth sometimes when it actually isn't the truth. That's what, yeah. Sometimes people try to make you feel like they're speaking the truth, and you know in your soul, in your mind, and everything that's not the truth. But they try to make you feel that it is the truth, and in actual reality, it's not the truth. So if you know that, you would know how to handle racism. You know, so it's a part of life. People feel that way, but you know, it's not that everything in life. It's a big part. I ain't gonna say it's a part of life. You know, it may be a big part of life to some people, but it's a part of life, but it's not everything. You know, it's a issue. It's a part of life where we need to address and confront in certain ways, and always we will need to address and confront in certain ways. I'm not saying you should slack off and stuff like that. You need to address things and confront things and make sure things are clear in the way you stand on certain issues. Yes, do that. Be strong in that. I'm saying that. Be strong in that. But don't only think about it, because if you only focus on racism, if you think it's bigger than it really is, sometimes it can be bigger than it really is to you. Sometimes you can't let things control you or limit you when they don't have that much power over you. Racism is alive. Address it, confront it, but don't only focus on it. Let your mind learn and see things in a broader sense. That way, you can have a more intellectual approach to combat certain things, you know, and to make things really seem the way they really are, which is foolish in certain aspects. So just realize that racism is alive. Address it, but don't only but don't only focus on it. There's other aspects about life that you need to address. Maybe, but I realize that you, as a person in this world, that you may need to address racism, address the issues of racism, and confront them. Yes, I'm not saying you don't need to do that. Address the issues, confront them. You may need to do that strongly in life at some time in your life, and people do that, and people need to address it and confront them issues. Yes, but when the smoke clears and the dust settles, you will learn to move a little bit on them, a little bit more after you've confronted it and addressed it strongly and made your presence known and how you think about things and how you feel about things and how you see things. Once you're done with that and the smoke clears, you're gonna move on a little bit and see a broader sense in things and have a bigger sense of what the way you should see things. Yes, you confront racism. Yes, you address it, and you always have that in you where you can address it and confront it if it ever comes up, and you will always do that really on the low, and know people need to do that. But see the bigger picture while addressing and confronting it, so you won't let the racist people limit you by their naive and narrow-minded view of the world. All right, that's the video for now. Racism is alive. Address it, but don't only focus on it. Peace.